I'll be calling you a radical. So this is brand new, the Ides of March. Brand new, just out. It just came on the wire that physics.org, of all people, are reporting this. So finally a study 10 years after the fact is out confirming Kevin Blanch's work. What have I said the whole time? This is new. This is a new, so this scientist in one of the major universities of Japan has put out his findings. He'll probably get locked up or worse for putting this out. So what he's saying, and I'll get into the technical analysis of this. So first off, just in layman terms, he's saying it's new. This is something that's never happened. We don't understand it, and here's why. Now, this is important. Now, listen to me. Cesium 137 and cesium 134. He's finding 10 kilometers, away from the reactor. He's also gathering as far as 225 kilometers away from the reactor. He says what his findings are that, the half-life on cesium 137 is 30 years. No decay. Now, we're 10 years. It should be showing some decay. So, he's using becquerels for his metering. We've never seen anything like this. The size of the particles they're finding. They're gigantic. This has never happened before, confirming more of Kevin Blanch's, which I named Fukushima. So, when you read through it, he's saying the findings are, now in becquerels they use 10, right? To the power. That's how they do it. 10 to the power. Up to a Madame Curie. Unless they throw Pierre under the fucking cart and run over his head. Be careful. I hope they don't do that to him. They've tried to me. He's saying this is samples that he's gotten right now. Current samples. 10 becquerels to the fifth times 2.5. So he's got, I'll post the formula. He's got 10 becquerels, that's how we go do it. 10 becquerels to 2.5 to 10 times 10 to the fifth power. Now his next one he's finding 10 to the sixth power. Now you know how that works. It times itself. So these readings are fucking gargantuous. Now then he goes on to say the size of the particle, the isotope. He actually has them physically, looking at them under a microscope. Never seen anything like it. These are bigger than anything he's ever seen. Of course, never happened before. Other thing, Senate Offery's got their new coalition out to move the waste. Well, I'm going to get it moved. Watch me. Shh, probably already is. Don't tell anybody. Being moved as we speak. By the way, the MOX fuel in Japan, it's back. Remember, we passed along 77, no using MOX fuel in the United States, so we shipped it to Japan. Blew up. What didn't blow up? They brought it back through Savannah River. That fairy tale, arriva. I've been doing a lot of work with France, PBS, believe it or not. Est-ce que vous parlez français? Oui. So, 999, oui. Oh, God. The variants. This is historic stuff. What it's doing, it's verifying my work, which I've said from day one. Oh, it's, look, here's how PhD works. This guy's doing a real PhD, Kevin Blanch. You hypothesize the knowledge, then you do the field work. My type of work. Boots on the ground. Talk about hardcore work. All this. Then you defend your work. My salmon work. My fires work. My Great Salt Lake drying going to work. My hypothesis is going to release this new energy. We don't know what it is. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. Now he's saying he thinks that these particles are from Unit 1. Now, I don't know how it concludes that. I call bullshit on. Well, that's how physics.org is sent me. he goes on to say that, and he's right. So now stay with me. This is historic important stuff. You fucking atomic fucking workers at Hanford, maybe you can get it. They poison you some more. By the way, I went to the bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. It's significant. You think, I mean, they didn't cut off my hands, Kevin Curie. He's saying what is showing, because the half-life, season 137 is 30 years. No decay. None. 10 years we should be seeing some decay in the cesium. Now, of course, you get cesium, you've got strontium, you have iodine, you have all the usual stuff. You have plutonium. Woo. Woo. Half-life's how many hundreds of thousands of years? That's the fucking killer of killers. No, there's another one. He's confirming. Fukushima. He says right in it, we've never seen this before. We never said these particles are bigger than anything we've ever seen not at Chernobyl, not at Mayak, not at 3 Mile Island, not at Santa Susana, not in laboratory, not at Livermore, not at Los Alamos, not at Idaho National Lab, not at fucking Oak Ridge, Tennessee, not in Europe, not in Japan, not at Diani, not at Diachi, not anywhere. There's no decay on it. That means it's ongoing. So here's the quantum leap that physics.org, they're going back 10 years and around. It's like, I always go back to Metalbron, fractal physics. He's been in my brain for my whole life, the intuitive mind. I always go back to Metalbron. Einstein, the quantum physics, working the God particle, all of it. He says it's not a grid. He ran it through his mind. He says he just dreamed about it. It's not a grid. Somehow you think this ebb and flow grid, that everything's a grid. It's not a circle. It's not a rectangle. It's not a octagon. It's a gas. It's a plasma. That's what I've said the whole time. He said it's more, dynamic. So he took out a round antenna, remember, and he just bent it. He just went, shh. Rabbit ears on a television. That's what he did. And he just bent it. And he went, hooked it up to his TV. Whoa! Look at it, grab it. That's how your cell phones work, All it is a little round antenna with a little bend in it. That's Metalbron. That's fractal physics. That's the crux. It's that simplicity. Well, Kevin Blanch, as I've always said, you think about that scumbag John Holden who covered all this fucking up. He calls himself a plasma physicist from Berkeley. I was doing work on Robertson Jeffers and his, wife, who was married to the attorney, blah, blah, blah. He's my favorite poet, American poet. I love that fucker. And I spent so much time and I was working on my Dark Watchers and, and I didn't realize, I was just doing a lot of reading about his wife. Fuck, how fucking romantic and beautiful it had to be in Carmel then. And my favorite poem is probably Carmel. I was just going through it, and I didn't realize she was only 37 years old when she died of cancer. He termed the term, right? Inhumanism. That's what these nuclear fuckers are. I love his fucking work. He was against getting involved in World War II. Well, he was right. If this doesn't prove it, Operation Paperclip and the kids who were just taken over, he was right. Jeffers was right the whole fucking time on every fucking bit of it. The poet, the nuclear physicist, Blanch. It's a plasma. It's a gas. I've been saying this the whole time, which I call fructonium. So the plasma and the gas, when you have spontaneous fires, I remember being in California, and they're arguing about Paradise Lost. They're arguing 13 different fires, and this was the fire 2 years before the Paradise Fire. And they're saying, well, we thought maybe there's a group of arsonists working with cell. I says, no. It's static electricity involved in the wires. The fucking plasma from Fukushima. The storms rise up. Jeffers, we drip into the sea. That was his, fuck. I look back and the more I read about him, the more I love that guy. I love that fucking place. Slept on Henry Miller's fucking couch many times. The Dark Watchers watch out over me. I remember being up there by the Condor Foundation, her house, Save the Otter's house, in Big Sur. I remember, and it was fucking really fucking, foggy. And I think that's the first time I ever saw a fucking Dark Watcher in the prism, the sky, and it fuck. Remember when I'm shooting the videos and I'm right there in Carmel? And I'm out there in the fucking pools and I'm working it so fucking hard. I've been working it all afternoon because she sucked down so fast right there in fucking Jeffers' fucking house, right in front of Jeffers' house. I'm working the fuck out of them. I'm all in the outer pools. I'm working. I'm running from one point clear to the other, from Carmel Point. That's his poem, Carmel Point. I'm running from Carmel Point clear over to fucking, Pacific Grove. I mean, physically, it killed me. Remember, I got all the fucking way. I'm deeper and deeper, and I can't find nothing. Remember, I found that one fucking bat star. Remember how excited I was? Like a little fucking kid. That's how I was that day that I saw the first Dark Watcher I ever saw. It's plasma. It's a gas. You can run from my work. This is verifying. As I said, they're lying. These are full-blown up meltdowns. Never happened before. It's creating a gas. It's pushed into the fucking ocean. These fucking storms are going to rise up. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. It's going to make the Great Salt Lake go dry. It's going to fucking make these fucking trees. I'm the first guy that started reporting when I was walking. I walked the entire coast. I'm walking it while I'm dying. Sleeping in my sleep bag in the fucking Gorda fucking cliffs up and down. I walked that whole through the private property, through everything, all of it. I mean, walking up on that fucking starved to death elephant seal. Remember that? I mean, all of it. The starving seals and the dead mirrors underneath my feet. I mean, I was dying of cancer. I didn't even have a fucking cell phone. I walked up on a dead fucking humpback right as she was going. Right there. Wow. I remember having the fucking dreams. Feels like heaven. I had such incredible fucking dreams, like just sleeping there in a sleeping bag. There's nothing out there. There's no cell phone service. There's no nothing. Like I said, I saw those Dark Watchers watching out over me. I'm a big Steinbeck guy, if you don't know. I like the Hamilton side. By the way, Jeffers' beautiful wife, everybody calls her because, she was married and he's 3 years older, but what about her lawyer fucking husband? He married a 16-year-old when he was 33, 4, 5. I want to write a book about her. I friends with Doc Ricketts' bastardette grandchild, Annabelle. She's the shit, boy. Flora, I'd like to write a book about Flora. Carmel, May Brussels on Balco. What's that smell? This proves all my work. You think about it, when my little nephew committed suicide, Caleb, and I got the call a couple of years ago. I was right in front of, it was Christmas time. I was on Cannery Row. Me and Patrick made those songs. I was so heartbroken. He was named Caleb after fucking East of Eden. I was standing right there in front of the statues with the Santa Claus hats on when I got the call. We made those songs and I got to Monterey, to the airport, and flew home to the funeral. I love when Hamilton said, my grandmother was so crazy, that Irish craze, she put out milk for the leprechauns. And one of the neighbors told her, well, don't you think it's some feral freaking house cat just drinking the milk? And she stared his fucking nose off his face. Look, those books are so good. I can relate. If you knew my family. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. I'll do more in the morning. Tired. I've been right the whole time. This proves so much of my work. It's hard for people to wrap their mind around a person like me. Because I have the art brain. I have the science brain. I like sports. I have the physical fucking part. I've been told by lots of people that's pressure life. Well, I remember I did the first BIS when I was a kid at Weber State. Finance, biology, and fine art. Whoa. Whoa. Well, I pulled it off. Been at it my whole life. Einstein's fucking math, Madame Curie, they killed Pierre. The French have been all over me as of late, ever since I've met them in front of the White House. French PBS interviewed me long ago, then they came back. God, people went crazy over that interview of yours, Kevin. Can you do it, another one? Sure, love to. This one 30 minutes. So the next one I did just the other day was a full hour. You know how I go. It says our audience is fucking loving you, in France. Go figure. I talk a lot about Pierre. Well, I think what turned him on, I talk about Malay. I says, hey, I'm like Malay. I step back and my science, my mind is like him. I step back and I view from the broader perspective. And then I quote Jeffers. I talk a lot about Henry Miller, Steinbeck, the French. They love the arts. Then I get into my Irish freaking side. Start talking about the mystics of it, the Dark Watchers. I was asked in the interview, well, we like your poetry. We've been reading some of it. You're so Freudian. This is, I'm a Kavanaugh guy. Fuck Joyce. I'm a Robinson Jeffers. Simple. You're not simple. It's new. I've been right the whole time. You read through it. He says it's not decaying. Frightening? Oh, fuck. Well, it just wiped out the Pacific fucking Ocean. The fires of Fukushima. The heat bubble. It's a plasma. They're turning on to it over there in Europe. My thesis in, Vienna. And by the way, I got the vax. I took one for the team. I didn't want no fucking vax. I said, no. I ain't having no fucking vax. I took one for you. I took one for the team. I told them that in the interview. Took one for the team. I said, yeah, I got to get back to Austria. I got to get back to Vienna to fight with the head in the blanch box. Who can do that? Ooh, what's that smell? It's a dead well in Carmel. They tore down Jeffers Tower. Can you imagine how fucking beautiful it had to be when he was there? Elk Lane there. Fucking well. Oh, fuck, I remember when I was a kid, Starfield. Feels like heaven. Oh my God, what a fucking place. Walking across there, fucking in the springtime, fucking dying of cancer, all alone. Fucking in that mystic fucking things I saw. No camera, no cell phone, no fucking, barely any food. Thinking I was going to die. What a place to die and drip into the sea, I used to tell myself. If you're going to go, this is it. I just kept walking. Singing on, I was in San Francisco. Feels like heaven. Oh yeah, I'm one of those mystics. Hamlet and Cassandra, they got together and had a baby named Kevin Blanch. Oh yeah. I put out snacks for the fucking, I shared the fucking, my little bit of food with the Dark Watchers. Steinbach's mom used to put out cookies for them. She said they would leave flowers. Remember them poppies in my hair? I would have loved to met her. Wow. Feels like heaven. I've been able to do this and survive this and get all this work done with the trolls and everybody attacking me. Because those angels, those dark watchers, oh, they watch out over me.